Here's more wrestling news for March 17th, 2022. And your headlines for this afternoon include: new champion crowned on Dynamite, what happened after the show? Update on when WWE plans on inducting Batista into the Hall of Fame. I just pissed off Vince. Celebrity performer recalls disastrous WWE Raw appearance. Current WWE superstar referenced on latest AEW Dynamite. AEW stars pay tribute to Scott Hall on first show since his death. Finn Balor explains his absence from WWE, why he missed the Royal Rumble. William Regal says he had just 24 hours to live in late 2018, and more. We're kicking off today with AEW as the new Women's World Champion was crowned on this week's Dynamite. In the main event, Thunder Rosa dethroned Britt Baker in a steel cage match to win the title, and the celebration went on long after the show went off the air. In an emotional moment, Rosa embraced her friends and family in the audience as the show was in her adopted hometown of San Antonio, Texas, which the announcers referred to on several occasions. Thunder Rosa's title victory came on March 16th, aka Stone Cold Steve Austin Day, so it was fitting that she used the stunner at one point in the match. AEW's YouTube channel posted a 10-minute highlight video of the match and her victory, and for someone who was once told by WWE that they wanted her solely as a referee, this win must feel extra special for the brand new AEW Women's World Champion. In 2020, it was announced that Batista would be inducted into that year's Hall of Fame, but that didn't take place. Not only was the ceremony canceled that year, but Batista opted to not be inducted as part of the 2020 class last year, which entered the Hall of Fame alongside the class of 2021. After a legendary career, Batista is certainly worthy of the Hall of Fame, and in a report from PW Insider, it's noted that the Animal won't be inducted this year, but will make an appearance as a part of the ceremony. The report adds that the former WWE World Champion is likely to be inducted as part of the 2023 class, and if so, will presumably be the headliner for the entire night. With The Undertaker going on as the headliner this year, it makes sense that the Animal won't be playing second fiddle to the dead man, but Batista's day will come, even if it means waiting yet another year. For wrestling fans, David Arquette is one of the most loathed names thanks to his controversial WCW World Championship win in May 2000. To be fair, Arquette has since won fans back with his dedication to wrestling and has worked several independent events in recent years, but we doubt Vince McMahon wants to see him back. Speaking to Chris Van Vliet, Arquette recalled his role as guest host of Raw in 2010, which came during a dark time in his life, and how his actions infuriated WWE's chairman, saying, "I was trying to get heel heat or something, but it was kind of off script, and I think I just pissed off Vince McMahon, I'm pretty sure. I didn't mean to. I have the utmost respect for him, but I didn't know. No one really smartened me up too much, like, make sure not to do this. I guess I was thinking of it like it was a house show, but it was for Raw." Since that disastrous night, Arquette has tried to prove he belongs in the ring, even having a death match with Nick Gage, but no amount of blood lost by the Scream actor is likely to win over Vince McMahon. Or from AEW, his last night's show was the first Dynamite since Chris Jericho turned on the Inner Circle, and he has a brand new team to his name. Last night, Jericho made it clear that he's aligned with Jake Hager, Daniel Garcia, and 2.0, now renamed the Jericho Appreciation Society, and had plenty of references to WWE. Describing himself as a sports entertainer, a term Jericho filed a trademark for a few weeks ago, his use of WWE's term earned loud boos from the crowd. Discussing 2.0, who were previously Ever-Rise in WWE, Jericho discussed the tag team's release from the opposition, saying his former best friend Kevin gave him a call and asked Y2J to get Jeff Parker and Matt Lee a job. That former best friend is, of course, in reference to Kevin Owens, and judging by the response from the crowd, many picked up on the reference to the former WWE Universal Champion. Concluding the segment by saying that the era of sports entertainers is upon AEW, this was a unique promo by the former AEW World Champion, and we'll have to see how it plays out with the anti-sports entertainment crowd. Back to the present, as Chris Jericho has been with AEW since the company started and left WWE to try something new out. In 2017, Jericho worked closely with then Universal Champion Kevin Owens, and a title match between them was reportedly booked for WrestleMania 33. However, that match changed when Owens lost the title to Goldberg in seconds just a month before WrestleMania, which left a sore spot with Y2J, as he explained on Kurt Angle's podcast. When he changed it to Brock and Goldberg, I was disappointed, but once again, what am I going to do? It is what it is, but what really bummed me out is that they put us on second on the WrestleMania 33 card. Kurt will tell you, second is a death spot. You don't want to be there. You couldn't put us first. You couldn't put us in a semi-main event. If you want us to do the world title match, then give us the spot. If you can't go on last, the next best place to go is first, and if you can't go first, then semi-main event. Those are your 3 spots. And to go second is a real slap in the face, it really is. If you look at any card, second is the worst spot to be in, and more importantly, he sent me a message. I don't see what else I could do. I felt the same when I left WCW. I had this great story with Goldberg, everybody was into it, and Bischoff didn't want to do it. Goldberg didn't want to do it, and if they're not going to go with this, they're probably not going to go with anything else I can think of. Jericho never got his Universal title match at WrestleMania, nor did he get a decent spot on the card in what would be Y2J's last time on the Showcase of the Immortals. Last night's Dynamite was a big night for AEW as it was their St. Patrick's Day Slam, but it was also a sad one, as it was the first AEW event since the death of Scott Hall. On the broadcast, there were several references to Hall, with Jim Ross opening the show with the iconic "Hey Yo" catchphrase. During the Hardys vs. Private Party match, Matt tried to set Isaiah up with a razor's edge, but Cassidy avoided the move. For her steel cage match, Britt Baker donned an attire inspired by Hall's time in NWO Hollywood, which Sean Waltman would later acknowledge on Twitter. Hall never appeared for AEW, but he meant a lot to those who do work there, and this was shown with these classy tributes on last night's Dynamite. Back to WWE, as Finn Balor is doing pretty well right now as the United States Champion, but this win occurred only after a brief hiatus. Earlier this year, Balor was nowhere to be seen and even missed the 2022 Royal Rumble as a result, but this wasn't due to any kind of injury to the Prince. Sitting down to speak with BT Sport, Balor explained that he wasn't injured and didn't need a rest, but it was instead a legal issue that kept him from the ring, as his visa had to be renewed. To do so, Balor had to go to the US Embassy in the Republic of Ireland to get things sorted, and the process cost him a month of action. Balor said he's glad it's over with as his new visa is good for the next 10 years, so expect to see plenty of the US champion for the next decade. And we're ending today with William Regal, who joined AEW earlier this month after a lengthy run as part of WWE. In WWE, Regal held the European Championship, Intercontinental Championship, and the Tag Team titles, but also nearly lost his life during his tenure. On Talk is Jericho, Regal explained how he nearly lost his leg due to medical issues in 2018 and could have lost far more than that. He said, "The last time that my family were all together was 2018 for Christmas, and I was in hospital for 8 weeks. I insisted. I was given at one point 24 hours to live. I had sepsis in my leg, they were going to cut my leg off. Insisted of going home for Christmas. You know, I've been through a lot. I had a hell of a year in 2018. Regal was thankfully able to keep his leg and his life, and would resume his role as general manager of NXT in early 2019. It's no secret that Regal has had several health issues over his life, and has thanked WWE for saving his life during his substance abuse problems, and we're pleased that the British legend is still with us, now in AEW. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.